Hello everybody, welcome back in the Golden Tee Lounge. Kevin Lindsey here. It is time to take a look at this week's PGA Tour exclusive event, Closing Time, an old school contest, our favorite hole 17s and hole 18s across Golden Tee Live. If you've been around a while, you've probably seen this course many years ago, but it was time to bring it back. As I said before, PGA Tour exclusive, so goldentee.com/locations to find an exclusive PGA Tour that is updated to 2022 near you. This is a weekly contest, so you have to play at least 5 games to qualify, but you can play as many as you want throughout the week. Kicking things off, one of my favorites, Highland Links number 18. Now, this is in production, so what you see here is going to match the very first game that you see when you go to play on a PGA Tour 2022 near you. Although I love this hole, this pin position of the very end of the right-hand side of the green, not the best, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to high tee a 10.5 degree driver. I'm going to hit it a little soft, and I'm just going to let that down 7, right 4, roll that ball down the green. Because this is a combination of our favorite 17 and 18s, means you're probably going to see a handful of par 3s and then a handful of drivable par 4s. But it should be a fun one. This is one of my favorite courses from back in the day. Of course, Turtle Island number 18, another one that that down 10 slope may be a little intimidating at first. Please make sure you hit a better shot than I did. Clearly not hard enough to get it to the green in one. But still one of my favorite closing holes in Golden Tee, regardless of the terrible shots that you'll probably see me hit throughout this course. Glacier Ranch 17. This hole, one that you normally don't see a lot in Events Mode Freaky Fridays, actually just saw it not long ago. But this is a fun par 5 to have, especially so early in the contest. As long as you can get around or past those trees, you're going to have a nice shot rolling up to the bottom of the cup, hopefully, for double eagle. Just stay away from that water as much as you can. Pearl Lagoon 17, another par 5. This one a little bit tougher, might be a little intimidating to you, especially if you've never played this course before. Couple ways to play this. If you've got a good enough wind blowing out there, you can hit a big C2.5, C3. Make sure you avoid those trees that are over there to the right-hand side, though. If you get it out far enough, you should be able to hit a big 3-wood or 10.5 degree driver around these rocks on the green. You have a massive sand trap and then, of course, water, so you've got to be careful. If you're hitting a 3-wood or a driver, ball can come in hot, potentially going to end up in the hazard. With this pin being so far to the right, we're going to go for the classic layup spot over here. So normally what you're going to probably want to do is hit a soft 3-wood with bite. I go bite instead of backspin because backspin may bounce too much, and then you end up, or you could end up, in this little area down below, and then you're kind of stuck between, do I go for the hot driver into the green and hope it stops, or do I just play it safe and go for a birdie? Now, this hole, or this shot on this hole, is not necessarily easy either because you got a couple of rocks in your way. So I'm just going to put bite on a 5-wood. Remember, 8-mile-an-hour wind with a down 8 green slope. I go 5-wood because it's going to guarantee me that it gets over this rock. Put bite on it so then if it hits the green short, kind of like I did there, you don't run the risk of getting stuck on the fringe, or even worse, going back in the water. And because this is closing time 17 and hole 18s, you may get a couple of tough looks here and there, but that is why you need to have your top 5 scores that count towards the end of the week to get a piece of that prize pool. Hole 5, Rustic Bridge 18, another fun one. Especially in events mode, it's going to give you a handful of different looks. This might actually go in the hole. Go in the hole? Go in the hole? Damn it. Ah, so close. So close. I will, by the end of this whole contest, get a hole-in-one, I promise you. But that's actually, for being hole 18 on Rustic, That's a very, very nice setup. So hopefully you can get as close as I did. If not, drop it in for a hole-in-one. But that is one of those holes where you've got a lot of different tee positions, even though you don't have a really massive tee box spot. Another fun one that doesn't get enough attention, hole 6, Sunnywood 18. The reason why you can low tee a driver here, if you have 8.5 degree driver or a 0 hybrid, you're probably in a better position than me. But depending on the setup, you can low tee the driver through this little gap here and actually potentially get on the green. I can't remember off the top of my head if anybody's actually ever aced this, but since there's golden tees the last 10 years, it has definitely had a much more realistic chance than previously. Not sure why that tree's shaking. It's throwing me off a little bit. But let's see if we can get it low enough. Nope, not going to get it low enough. Maybe stay dry at least. Probably not. Maybe. But again, you run the risk, but it's also so fun and so hard not to try. Now, I'm probably going to either hit the trees or try a 5 hybrid that is going to bounce too far. But we'll just go with a soft 5 hybrid. Wow, I must be on my game because it actually did what I wanted it to. Oh, yep, and then we go back to terrible shots. Look at that. Birdie, but that's okay. Again, this is why you have the opportunity to play as many games as you want, because you're not going to have the greatest shots on all the holes all the time. Then we get to number 7, Grand Savannah 18. This, honestly, might look intimidating because you're at the bottom left pin of that big green, 10 mile an hour wind, 10 up slope, but we're going to just have some fun with this. We're going to go high tee, 10.5. Hopefully avoid the giraffes in the back. Definitely hit that way too soft. Stay up there for chip. All right. Again, these videos are usually how to play either really well at Golden Tee or play terribly at Golden Tee. Kind of in between right now. A couple of bad shots, but a couple of good chips. As we get to hole 8, Cypress 17. This is another one that's going to be tough. You may have to lay up. You've got a massive green with a down 10 slope. So if you've never played this course, I think from 2008, if memory serves me right, plenty of green to work with, so don't feel bad about laying up if you have to. But in our instance here, we're going to just try to blow a driver past the sand traps. Wind's blowing to the right and not as much in our face, so that works out pretty well. This one, you can let it just roll with a 3 wood. You could be cool, put roll on it with a 5 wood. I'm probably going to just soft a 10.5. We're just going right for the bottom of the cup. I don't even care about anything else. Damn. But again, that is a fun hole. And also, if you want to have if you're having a terrible game, at least play to hole 8 here, because you get a chance to have a massively long putt with a down 10 green slope. So, rolling into hole 18 of Eagle Crest as hole number 9 here. Another one that you've got boxes here. You've got boxes over there. You've got a box in the middle. For our purposes here, not a bad setup. I'm going to use a medium tee, and I'm going to hit the tree. I was torn there. I wanted to hit low. The problem with low is it just bounces so much when it hits the green. So we'll just have to chip in for eagle, or not. Maybe next time. All right. Birdie chip. 15 after 9. Not the best score in the world, but not bad either. As we roll into hole 10, Bear Lodge 18. Another hole that you haven't seen a lot of lately, and guess what? Now it's back. This is a really tough setup. We're going to go 10.5 degree driver, high tee. We're going to pull it out to the C, hit it out to the 2. Now the main trick here is to at least get it far enough left, but that wind makes it tough. You also have to be careful when chipping here because it's very easy to blow past the green. Again, I'm happy, very happy with taking a birdie here on a tough hole 18. Timber Bay 17, another classic we don't see often as we should. Couple different ways to go here. This is a shorter look at 580, which sounds crazy, but if you look behind me here, we've got a couple other tee boxes that do make it a little difficult down the line depending on the setup, and then you've got the casual box over there you probably won't see. I'm just going to punch a high tee driver here. The other play is to lay it up at the end of this fairway. You got to be careful because there is mud surrounding it, so you may stop you from losing a ball in the water, but you're still going to lose a couple of strokes. Normally I go this way if the pin is on the left side of the green, but when it's so far up here, you have no other good option than to just hit this out a little bit to the right-hand side of the green. You're going to have a 12-mile-an-hour wind and a right slope, so you're going to have to hit a pretty good shot coming in on this. Pin position's not great here. I'm just going to go ahead and hit a hard 8-wood. The nice thing is about the 8-wood, much easier to cut than the 6. So we got lucky there and stopped on the fringe. We're going to go ahead and just putt this bad boy in for eagle. Woo! Thought that was rolling over. Again, not a super easy contest, but it is fun. It is challenging. If you're trying to get better at Golden Tee, you definitely want to find a PGA Tour game to play in this exclusive event. Old school kind of contest as we get here to Jackrabbit Junction, number 18. Not a lot of par 5s ending courses in Golden Tee. This was one of the first, if I remember correctly. Lots of YouTubeable shots here. This one we had a pretty easy shot at. Wind behind our back. We've seen plenty of people hit a 5-wood or a 6-wood, bounce it off of these rocks. Not going to necessarily try to do that here, but it is a down 7, right 7, so we're going to just... Well, never mind. We're gonna just lay it up on the green like that, off the rocks. The rocks can either be very helpful or very detrimental, depends on how it's going. Also, chipping game, terrible. Putting game, A-, surprisingly. Number 13, Grizzly Flats 17. Probably one of the better looks you will ever get. This is a tough one. Most of the time you're going to lay up here and have a wood or a driver going in. If you're crazy, like Joe Massara, Evan Gossett, Andy Haas, like top player crazy, you might want to lay it up on the strip. But no reason here on this first setup. Oh no, I missed the trackball. Hopefully that wind blows it past. Nope. That's the problem. You can end up in the mud. Don't miss the trackball. Don't be like me. Hit the damn deck. Get a good hit. Now the other thing to be careful of is it's an up 10 green. I don't really care, so I'm just going for it because it's going to drop in for eagle. There you go. Put it in the mud. Lay it up. Be ballsy. Hit backspin with a super spin iron on an up 10 green, and then get an eagle. I mean, nothing more to see than that. That one was fun because I could see from the top-down view that actually once it hit the green, it had a good chance. I don't know if that's good or bad coming into tournament this weekend or what. Get to the next hole, 14, Pelican Grove 18. This is probably why you're going to want a zero hybrid in your club set because this hole can set up long distance. It also can set up pretty short. So I'm going to probably have to cut a low 9.5 degree driver in here softly against the wind because I'm trying to avoid the water. I'm trying to avoid bouncing off the green into the water or going and blowing past the green. So way to follow up a hole out eagle with a par. But that's just how it goes sometimes. And this is why I'm good, not great, let's be honest. Bayou Bay 18. This is probably one of the most underrated par 4s or drivable par 4s in Golden Tee. This can set up for 300. It could set you up over here for like 180 for a drivable par 4 to end a typical round on Bayou Bay. Hole 15 here, though, a pretty fun spot for this. Usually a lot of wind and not a lot of green to work with. Just a reminder to hit the damn ball because apparently I can't. Thankfully, the drop is nice and it puts me on the green for birdie. And we walk past this hole a little unscathed. And then, of course, what is a hole 17 and 18 course without Laurel Park 18? This is where it may screw up your score towards the end if you mess it up. but you can't turn down the possibility of putting in for double eagle. Again, in case you're new here, I'm terrible most of the time, so that's why I'm hitting a 5 hybrid out of the dirt from 86 yards away. Now, the nice thing out of that dirt, keeps your spin a little bit, so I'm still putting in for eagle. That one is tough because if you don't get it past those trees and on the green, very rarely are you going to get a clear layup-esque shot like I did there. Hole 17, Monument Valley 18. This is where things get tough towards the end, but this is also where the reward of great shots comes into play. Up 10, massive elevation change. Zero Hybrid's another good club to come in on this at because it'll already come in low. You can kind of hit it, no spin, and let it kind of roll. If you hit it off of the rocks, it's not a big deal as long as you're coming in soft. This is probably surprisingly dry, but it really isn't that great of a shot. Don't have a lot of options there, but the G wedge with backspin seemed better than trying to crush a shot of the dirt with roll. All right, and then of course the ever difficult Bella Toscana 18. 25% of the difficulty of this hole is the fact that you aren't lined up straight to the green. So now you're cutting in against a 16-mile-an-hour wind and a down 10 green slope. With a 3-wood, I'm going to somehow hit the green and then fall off. It happens. Then, if you're like me, you're going to chip off the green a few times, and then you're going to curse my name, and I'm probably going to get beat up in Nashville by some players because of having such a difficult shot to end the contest. It's all right. It happens. Happens to the best of us. It happens to the worst of us. So, there's your PGA Tour exclusive event. Closing time, our favorite 17th and 18th holes across Golden Tee Live. An old school contest we wanted to bring back. A little difficult there towards the end, but if you are a newer player, it's definitely challenging and worth getting out and playing a few this week. GoldenTee.com for more information. We'll see you guys again here soon.